Time goes by so fast. One moment you're in your home country, surrounded by your family, everything familiar, food, festivals. And the next, you're in a foreign land, feeling like a tiny dot in a sea of strangers. People think moving abroad is all about better jobs, better opportunities, and a better life. But no one talks about the hardest part. The struggles that social medias don't show. The battle that happens inside you every single day. I know this struggle because I've lived it. And if you're watching this, maybe you have felt it too, or you're about to feel it. The hardest part of moving abroad. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what no one warns you about before moving abroad. When I first moved abroad, I thought I was totally ready. I had my bags packed, my dreams in my eyes, and a whole new world waiting for me. But what I wasn't ready for, this will surprise you, the silence. In India, life was never silent. The streets were full of people all the time. Tea stalls buzzing, neighbors stopping by unannounced, the warmth of home. But here, it was different. The silence in my apartment was too loud. We didn't have kids back then, just my husband and I. It was okay on the weekdays when we went to work. In the weekends, my husband and I would sit at home, surrounded by silence that felt so heavy. The world outside seemed so far away, and all we could hear was the clock ticking. That was a constant reminder of that complete silence. You come home from work and then you suddenly realize there is no one waiting for you at home. There's not your mom asking you, have you eaten anything? No casual chit chat with family. Just you sitting alone. You may think, what's wrong with that? It's something nice. Silence is nice. Everybody loves a peaceful life. You may think for some time that it's a freedom, but soon it starts feeling like a total emptiness. I never realized how much food connects you to home until I moved abroad. Back home, food wasn't just food. It was love, sort of emotions connected to it. It was mom's special idiyappam, street side pani puri, and the smell of aromatic filter coffee first thing in the morning, even before you wake up. And then I came here, standing in a supermarket aisle, staring at food items for which I didn't even know the ingredients' names. I was confused by the ingredients, many of them I couldn't even pronounce. I tried making the same Indian dishes that my mom made, but they never tasted the same. Maybe because the ingredients were different, or maybe because the love was missing. It was never the same. The first time I tried to make dosa batter after moving abroad, it was a total disaster. The batter stuck to the pan, tore apart, and turned into a mushy mess. I stood there staring at the ruined dosa, and my throat actually tightened. You know the feeling right before you're about to cry, you're about to break down. It wasn't just about food. It was about home. About the mornings my mother would pour the perfect golden dosas on the tawa, the crispy edges curling up just right. You would have watched that as a child. It was about the smell that filled the house, the comfort of home, the feeling of tearing the hot dosa with my hand and dipping into lovely coconut chutney. And now, thousands of miles away, I couldn't even get that right. I felt like I was losing a piece of my life. One failed dosa at a time. Food actually became my biggest emotional struggle. You may think that, why am I so emotional about just a stupid dosa? It wasn't just about the taste. It was the feeling connected to home. I think many of you can understand how that really feels, how that really hurts you in your heart. One of the biggest adjustments I had to make was how people interact here. In the UK, people are very polite and friendly, always smiling at you. Even strangers on the street will say good morning to you, holding the door open for you, and always saying thank you and sorry. At first, I found myself very hesitating because in India, I was not used to saying thank you and sorry so often. Yes, we do say those, but not that often. Even for the smallest things, someone hands you a napkin. Thank you. Accidentally overtook someone while walking. Sorry. You forgot to hold the door open for someone coming behind you. Sorry. It took me a while, but eventually I got used to it, and now it's a second nature. For me personally, festivals were the hardest. In India, Diwali and Pongal means the whole city lights up with festivities. But here, it's another working day. I remember my first Diwali here. I lit a small diva by the window. And for the first time, I realized home isn't just a place. It isn't just a building. It's a feeling. Will I ever belong here? There were days I questioned everything. Did I make the right choice? Will I ever feel at home here? And then one day, something changed. I stopped waiting for home to find me. I started creating home where I was. I found an Indian store that sold my favorite snacks. I made friends who became my family. We started celebrating Diwali not just with our Indian friends, but also with our British friends who were so excited to experience it with me. And slowly, the loneliness faded. If you are feeling this struggle right now, I want you to know you're not alone. Moving abroad is very hard. It breaks you before it makes you. But one day, you'll wake up and realize you're stronger than you ever thought. You don't just adopt, you evolve, you grow, and you carry home within you wherever you go. So if you are struggling right now, trust me, one day you will look back and be proud of how far you have come. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt this way after moving abroad? What was your hardest struggle? Let us share our stories in the comments. I'll be reading every single one. And if this video resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe and share with someone who need to hear this. Let's keep this beautiful conversation alive together. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video.